Good morning. Today is Friday, and I am ready for the weekend. How about you? April Fools. It is Tuesday, April 1st, and this is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Andrew Garcia. I trust I didn't get your hopes up too bad. If I did, my apologies. It is no joke that today's going to be cloudy and warm with highs in the mid-80s, and we'll also likely see some thunderstorms roll into DFW overnight, and some of them may be severe, so be careful. Soon, Garland voters will decide on a $360 million bond package, and more than half of it would go toward fixing streets. Hear more about it after today's news. The group behind the push for Dallas to hire hundreds more police officers sent an official notice to city officials. Dallas Hero is giving the city a warning to comply or face litigation. The notice gives the city 60 days to comply with the mandate. A survey by Equality Texas focused on LGBTQ students found that at least 3/4 of the students surveyed in Texas colleges and universities considered leaving their school after the anti-DEI policy took effect last year. Jonathan Gooch with Equality Texas said LGBTQ students are suffering without DEI services and that they helped foster a sense of community. Voters in Garland will elect a new mayor next month and decide on a $360 million bond package. It comes as the city's population has grown and become more diverse over the last decade. KERA Communities reporter Priscilla Rice joined host Justin Martin to talk about what's at stake on Garland's ballot.
So Priscilla, let's start with what's in the bond package itself. $360 million is a pretty big price tag.
It sure is, and the Grow Garland package is divided into 4 propositions, with the bulk of the money, $230 million, going to streets. Mayor Scott LeMay says they get the most comments or complaints from constituents about streets and alleys, and the city also evaluated the streets and are prioritizing the streets that need the most work.
And so we have a new system of grading those streets, and we have a lot of needs.
Prop B would be $75 million for economic development, which would include the medical district, Harbor Point, and South Garland, as well as revitalization and neighborhood vitality. Prop C is $25 million for the renovation of the Granville Arts Center, which needs improvements to things like plumbing and HVAC, as it's been in existence since 1982. And Prop D is $30 million for park and recreation improvements, which would include public waterfront access, trails, and other amenities at Harbor Point.
Now, why is the city of Garland calling a bond election when they had, a $423 million bond package, I think, in 2019.
Yeah, that's correct. LeMay says they asked themselves a question of what do we do next? How do we continue the momentum? And a bond study committee looked at the remaining needs and wants and issues and put forward this new package. The city has been making progress in updating facilities and infrastructure and quality of life amenities, and that the projects are now 70% done from the last bond election. They would be substantially complete in another year. And if you have visited downtown Garland lately, you might have noticed that there have been a lot of money put into economic development and revitalization of municipal facilities and business facades. And unlike in 2019, LeMay says the city is not raising taxes this time.
There's also a wide race for mayor on the ballot. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, LeMay is term limited, and there are 6 candidates running to replace him, and in line with the bond package. Economic development is a big focus in the race. And 2 candidates, Deborah Morris and Dylan Hedrick, both have served on the city council. They both have seen bond projects come to fruition and say that this current bond package is something that will attract new businesses to Garland, but will also improve quality of life, streets, and alleys, which are a top priority. And Morris is a writer and Hedrick is a civil engineer. 2 leaders in the Hispanic community are also running. Roel Garcia previously ran for mayor in 2023, and Connie Ramos Caiwi ran for city council that same year. Both say that there is no Hispanic representation on the council, and they both say that that is problematic, given that nearly 50% of the population is Hispanic in Garland. Garcia has been very outspoken against the bond package. He says city dollars should be spent on things like a community hospital. Then you've got PC Matthew, who served on boards and commissions. His background is finance and engineering, and he says he wants to be inclusive of multicultural groups in Garland as decisions are being made. He is a supporter of the bond, but doesn't want homeowners to pay more money for things like sidewalks and street repairs. And finally, Shibu Samuel has also served on city boards and is an ordained bishop and business owner, according to his website. I reached out but didn't get in contact with him. So Garland voters will have to make some big decisions in May.
That was KERA's Priscilla Rice talking to host Justin Martin. The TCU Horned Frogs and UT Longhorns women's basketball teams faced off last night as part of the NCAA Tournament's Elite Eight. This was TCU's first time in the Elite Eight, but they fell to the Longhorns with a score of 58-47. UT will move on to play South Carolina in the Final Four. And the Dallas Mavericks lost to the Brooklyn Nets last night, final score 113-109. Head to the Violet Crown to check out the Make Me Famous immersive art experience that tells the story of the 1980s NYC art scene. Find more information and some other fun things to do, head on over to kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. I'm your host, Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by Shardae White and Bekah Morr. You can find some more news for your inbox by visiting kera.org/wakeup. That's where you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA News newsletter and get some good morning vibes from our colleague Catherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Tell us your favorite April Fool's prank. We'll see you tomorrow.